What's up, YouTube? I am Magicide. Welcome back to our Geek Fest here, playing Crusader Kings II with the Game of Thrones mod. I'm happy to announce that the 1.5 update for the Game of Thrones mod has released just a couple of days ago. I just installed it earlier this morning and let the game run for a couple of days just to make sure everything was good to go, and it's running pretty smooth. No longer get that weird checksum warning at the beginning of my games anymore, which is a good sign. Hopefully we won't run into any problems. I'm pretty sure we won't, but we'll just have to kind of touch base with that when we actually, or cross that bridge when we actually come to it. Just to take a look at the map real quick, we've got some other interesting changes here. Looks like the Dornish area is starting to kind of become a conglomerate under the Brimstone flag here. Let's actually take a look. Is that okay? So that's just the duchy. It'd be interesting to see who actually forms some of these individual kingdoms, like Dorne and the North. The North looks like it's still pretty splintered, although there are a couple areas here that are starting to come together. And looks like the Fono, if I'm pronouncing that correctly, Fono, they've gotten bigger. And over here into the Ashai lands have definitely come together. But last time we left off, I believe, yes, we took over Tamarino here, and then we eventually got our claim on Lizard Head. And since we had the majority of the duchy, we came over here to Golden Heart and smashed their faces. So we have two duchies now. We have the Duchy of Naathi, and then we have this duchy here, which is called the Principality of Golden Head. And then I sent my Justiciar back over here to one of these pirate islands over here to Death Isle, so we could hopefully get the claim here, and then we'll automatically have a de jure claim here on the Isle of Serpents and be able to take them over. We'll have 3 duchies. I'm not entirely sure what I'm going to need here to form the kingdom. Let's actually take a look at what's in the de jure kingdom of this area. So we got the kingdom of... Okay, so interesting. So the kingdom that we want is a whole bunch of places that we're going to need a whole hell of a lot of money to do, because a lot of these provinces here are actually ruins, and we don't have access to them until we get 1,000 gold. And I'm not sure if that's actually a decision that we can take, or if it's a random pop-up once we reach 1,000 gold to actually start colonizing this area. But that's unfortunate. I was actually kind of hoping the Basilisk Isles were actually part of that kingdom, but they're not. What are they actually part of? Are they their own thing? They are. Okay, so depending on which route we go, if we go west, we can start taking over the Summer Isles over here and forming this kingdom. Let's actually take a look at that kingdom real quick. Okay, holy Christ. So the kingdom of the Summer Isles is this entire area. Wow. I was assuming that this was going to be like just a small empire. Huh. Well, there's a lot of land over here we got to conquer if we're going to want that kingdom title. So I think what we might do is just focus on the east over here. Since we already have a duchy in the Summer Isles, I think it makes sense just to do the Basilisk Isles, and then once we get enough money, start colonizing this area. Hopefully, anyways. But let's get going here. Also, I was looking up a few things from the last episode, since we basically converted over to the Roller religion. This mod, unfortunately, does not have the ability to force convert people, even if they are not zealous. I guess the way you're supposed to do it with this specific religion is if you are favored by Roller, which I believe we still are. Let's take a look here. Not sure if we still have that. Oh, here we go. Favored by Roller. So the way it works is if somebody is sick, like we're sick right now, but if somebody was sick, we could heal them. And I believe that either auto converts them or we get the option to converting them. But in order to even do that, we need to sacrifice people. And that was something that I was actually looking at, because there's a decision in the intrigue menu here. Let's see here. Maybe it was look into the flames. Yeah, we had to sacrifice some people. So when we actually had prisoners, wherever they went to, I know we had prisoners at some point, there was an option to sacrifice them, or excuse me, to execute them. And I guess when you take that option or that decision, it gives you a secondary option to actually sacrifice them to Roller. And I didn't know that. I actually had to look that up. I found that out recently. But I was looking up some sub-mods for the Game of Thrones mod, and there were a couple interesting ones. There was one actually called just Religious Conversion, but unfortunately that mod is only compatible up to 1.2, and since we're playing on 1.5, I don't really want to test that out. There was another one that looked really interesting too. It's called the Bloodlines mod, where it gives you a special trait if you were born under a great house. But it said it explicitly on there that you had to start a new game to use it, and you couldn't use it on an existing save file. So we're not going to do that. That might be an option that we look into in the future for future series or future playthroughs, but it's really terrible that I can't force convert anybody, because we have our heir, our son here, and we can't force convert it. Although I think what we might do... So it cost me 50 gold to do this. Let's go ahead and do this. So we'll send our son on a private foreign tour. Your son, Masodor, seemed excited at your proposal and agreed to undertake a tour of foreign lands in the name of House Kisway. He will travel for a number of months using your coin to charter a ship that will depart from Naathi in the coming days. So he'll end up getting on a quest overseas, which it gives me a dynasty opinion of plus 15. Awesome. But unfortunately my son is depressed here. Let's hope he gets rid of that, because when my guy dies, I don't really want to end up with potentially with a depressed man that ends up kicking the bucket because he ends up having the negative to health and fertility. But we've got a grandson here, so we're good to go. You know, I could have swore when the last time we left off we had either prisoners or slaves or something. I believe we did, but according to our intrigue tab, we have no prisoners. So that sucks. So looks like we got a new threat here. All right. Okay. So you have the lordship. Okay. So you own that one province. You are. Let's go ahead and... So if we plot to kill him, you're going to take over. We don't want that. What do we got here? We got imprison. We don't want to plot to kill him. Plot to incite a revolt. No. What if we just straight up revoke his title? Let's have a special revoke reason if we have a truce. Okay, so we... So do I still have a truce with him? Yes. Okay, so there, what we want to do then... not you, this guy here. He's pretty old, but we're going to set him to special interest just so I don't forget. And let's get started. Not too long, Udo, somebody has occupied my rightful seat. I will stop at nothing to take it from him. Provide me with coins so I may hire an army to achieve this. What are you trying to do here? Lose 20 gold. You're my commander. You're the commander of the guy that I want out of there. No, man. I'm not going to give you that. So he was your he was your commander. Interesting. So I wonder if I gave him the 20 gold, if he would have started a rebellion there. I don't want any rebellions there. I don't want to have to deal with that. I just want the guy dead. I just want to revoke his title and install somebody with my religion and my culture. That's the easiest way to do it. Let's actually take a look at our counselors here. Okay. All right, so we got some conversions. That's fantastic. I'm trying to convert the Isle of Flies over. So the way this is going to work, since we don't have the option to force convert people, we've already managed to flip our one county here. So when our son takes the helm at ruling our kingdom, I'll end up having to take the decision to converting, and we'll have to do it that way. But his son, the grandson here, is being tutored by me, I believe. Yeah, I'm his guardian. So there is the possibility that while he's under my guardianship that he'll end up converting. I think that that's the way this should work. Okay, so we got some taxes. Great. What do we need to do? We need to get a new commander. Let's take a look here. Alright, so we got our seneschal, our court physician, and we've got my nephew here who is attractive and quick. Sure, nephew. Do you actually have a wife? Yes, you do. Okay, great. Marmite is my son's firstborn. We don't want him to be content. And we shouldn't have any more levies raised. Because I think when we left off, we just conquered, what was it, Golden Heart over here. Yeah, we just conquered that, and I think that's where we left off. It's been a few days. I had to take a couple days rest from recording videos and playing around with YouTube. Let's not have you be cynical. I'd rather him be cynical than zealous at this point, just because I'm trying to convert everybody. But until that point, no cynics. I'll be the only cynic, thank you. Man, I really want to look into the flames. Actually, is there any plots that I can do? Okay, there's no plots. I'm just wondering, can I choose to imprison this guy? We have a 29% chance based on our intrigue. Increase my tyranny by 10 for a courtier, or 20 for a landed vassal. So I'll get 20 tyranny. Yeah, let's do that. Alright, so we got a prisoner here. Can we revoke his title since he's in prison? No. Okay, let's see here. So we can send him to court, but we don't want that. We're gonna execute this fool. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this is the option. We can choose to burn him. We can gain 30 piety since we're followers of Roller. We have a 10% chance of getting zealous. Are we already zealous? We are not. Okay. He dies, and I get 1 sacrifice. Let's go ahead and do that. Lord Chibundo of Golden Heart has been sentenced to death, and you have commanded he be burned alive as a warning to your enemies. He is tied to a stake, and a fire is lit beneath him. His screams went on for many minutes until he finally died. Burn him! And everybody's outraged. Roller be praised. Now, let's see. We can heal my own injuries here, since I have that option. Or we can look into the flames. And since you are away on a foreign tour and you're not sick. Oh, man. I just wish I could do it to my own lineage here, my heirs, because otherwise I wouldn't have to take that decision to do it, and I think you lose a bunch of piety, or maybe a bunch of prestige, or both. So we're going to do it to ourselves. Okay, let's see here. Missandei, one of 2 options will happen. 32% chance of Prince Conde is successfully healed by Missandei, or the healing fails. I think Missandei is my priest. Yes, okay. Well, let's do it. Yep. Tried to call upon Roller to heal you of your ailment, chanting his name and bathing the afflicted area in fire. Nothing happened, however, except for mild burning. Oh, wow. So I'm going to lose some piety. She's going to lose some piety. And I have a chance for some bad stuff here. So we can become disfigured. We don't want that. Fire obsessed would be great, although we're going to lose the stewardship, and that would suck. Let's roll the dice here. All right, look at that. I became fire obsessed. So we get some learning. Roller opinion. So everybody else, I'm assuming, that has that religion likes me a little bit better. Excellent. Also, and I was looking up in a previous episode, I was saying, I wasn't sure what the point of the learning score was, simply because there is no technology. And apparently, the learning score has to deal with education. I think it might actually have something to do with guardianship too. Everything that I looked up kind of pointed towards that. But I'm not going to focus on learning, because if we don't really have technology, I'm not really too worried about the education, especially since it's going to cost gold anyways. So let's actually take a look here, since we still have gout and we weren't healed. I think, oh yeah, that's right, you're proselytizing. Well, that was an interesting option. Maybe I shouldn't do that very often. So, since he died, since I sacrificed him, he takes the helm, and then I can automatically just revoke his title. He'll probably end up, yep, okay. So let's go ahead. Alright, somebody actually, looks like one of the Call of Phono wants me to marry my daughter. No, let's not do that. I want her to be married matrilineally. You know something? See, Parrot Shore here is right next door, although so are these guys. Let's see if we can actually marry into these people here. So he's 12. So arrange a marriage. No, okay, arrange a betrothal. How about to my sister? He won't accept. Okay, so difference in age. Alright. So let's just arrange a marriage. We'll do it this way. Not to my brother. So nobody with anybody or any really good traits here. So we'll do this guy here. Oh man, I don't really want to do that. Okay, how about not matrilineally? So you won't do it. You won't marry your son because there's a difference in age here. Let's try to find somebody else. I'm trying to find somebody that actually has a little bit bigger of a kingdom here, so that way I can have my own dynasty in here. You have... I wonder if these guys might consider it. I doubt they will, because we're different religions, we're different cultures. So your heir is this woman here. Okay. Okay, they're outside of my diplomatic range. Are you guys outside of my diplomatic range too? No. Okay. But both of your sons have died. Ha! How about Marine? Let's try them. Nope. Okay. So looks like... what about you guys here? Oh, you guys are too far away. I just want to marry her off to somebody. Somebody around here. Okay. He's got a wife. Okay, so what we'll do... That was what? My one daughter... I think we're just going to have to take the prestige hit because, unfortunately, we only have courtiers here. Yes, let's do that. Alright. Now let's raise our levy and all of our transports. I did raise my transports, didn't I? No, I didn't. Wow, I only have 3 ships. Well, that definitely puts a damper on things. So we're going to stand you guys down. I think I'm going to have to... Oh, that's right. We had the loan from the bank, too. Shit, maybe I shouldn't have done this. Because the only thing we can hire here are these guys. But it only gives me 15 ships. We're going to have to do it. How many troops do you actually have? Quite a bit. Okay. So unfortunately, I think we're just going to have to take another loan. I completely forgot all about that we took the loan in the first place. Do we actually even have that option anymore? Since we already took a loan? Take a loan from a vassal, repay the loan. Oh, man. I don't know how we're going to transport all of our troops here, because we don't have enough money here. That should be enough. Okay. Well, looks like we just barely had enough there. I'm really surprised by that. Let's get our ships up in here. Actually, I think we could probably land here first instead of... Yeah, let's... Okay. So we can't. Let's... We are losing a little bit of gold here, but we're going to have to chill for a minute. Because I don't want it to be the same scenario like it was the last time where they end up transporting all their troops and I didn't have any ships to get back. Not a big deal anyways. It's going to be an easy fight. Okay, so I don't want the threat of them actually coming over to my land, so we're going to do this. We're just going to come over there and kick their teeth in. I just got to watch the gold, the finances. Actually, you know what? Before, just so I don't forget, let's just stand down the fleet that I just hired. Because I don't want it to be the situation where we run into the negatives and then all of a sudden there's like a mutiny. But I don't know where they'd get the troops from because it's just transport ships. But it's better to be safe than sorry, I suppose. Okay, so we get some pop-ups that my vassal was creating some new council members. Alright, so you are my granddaughter. I have no money. We're broke as a joke. We're still losing a little bit of gold here because we've got our levy raised. We can pay her money and go into the negative. We don't want that. I'm not going to give her an artifact. So we're just going to have to piss her off. So my red priest is... Why is she idle? I just set her to proselytize before. Come over here. So why are you at court with me? Just because you're married to my son. Okay. Alright, let's take a look at our siege progress here. Oh man, look at that. Oh. We're gonna do it. See, the problem with going into the negative like this is that you have a chance of getting a whole bunch of negative modifiers to your provinces, for one, and then for two, the morale of your troops is lowered. At least it should be. I can't pass that up. You get those claims, I have to have them. So actually, let's pause the game real quick. Let's go to my... where are you at? My justice shirt here. So we're going to fabricate a claim on... What is this? The Howling Mountain here. Because since I have the claim down here on Death Isle, I'll automatically have the claim on the third island. Since I'll have the majority of the du jour land. I don't... Okay, there we go. Alright. So it looks like we got something over here I need to siege down. My young grandson is slowly mastering the art of swordsmanship. Okay. Opened the stable door a bit too quick and accidentally stumbled on Marceline getting his first kiss. Well, I want him to be lustful. Boy, this is rough. Let's see what he gets. Ah, that's terrible. Carpenter's Guild, let's see, we get some build time and build cost reduction, but we get less city tax. I want the city tax. Please and thank you. Okay, looks like I got a new granddaughter. Alright. So, these guys, I'm just going to assault this, because by the time I'm able to, I'm going to get another, should get another tick. There we go. Okay, let's assault it. Alright, there we go. Let's, offer peace. First, we're going to revoke your title. And we're going to take you off of the special interest. And then we are going to... Can we execute him? Like, he is in my prison. I can ransom him, but I don't think anybody's going to pay. Nobody's going to pay. Oh, there we go. Execute. Yep. Burn him! Burn him to the ground! Alright. Somehow my son, my one son, is in prison. But first, let's stand down our troops, and let's actually take a look. If I release him from release him from prison, he'll like me more. I know in vanilla, if you release your direct vassals, it gives you a small opinion boost. How much would he give me? A lot of money. Let's go ahead and just ransom him, because I really need that cash. And you know what? Since I executed him, I should have the option to. Okay, so we get our money. That's great. Should have the option to look into the flames. There's an unknown plot against Prince Conde's family. It's probably against me, which means I should probably take my spy master here to scheme, plot. Actually, since my spy master hates my guts, is there anybody here? So my wife can become my spy master because she likes me. Let's go ahead and do that. I don't want to risk death. And the rest of these guys, too bad. Actually, you know what? Let's take a look at our vassals here. A lot of people here not really liking me very much, which is a bummer. I think what I was planning on doing in a previous episode, if I didn't... Oh, okay, so I did do it. Alright. So we can immediately go to war with these guys. And should I do that now? Because we don't have any ships, I believe. I think we need to let them... Yeah. Oh, what do we got here? Would you like to back our plot to kill my chief general? No. Absolutely not. Okay, so we do have it set to auto-stop plots. Can I try to heal myself? Well, I sacrificed the one guy. Oh, that's too bad. Yeah, so what we need to have happen here is our ships need to finish rebuilding, and it's going to be quite a while, I think, before that happens. The good part about us taking over or revoking Dude's title here is that we get control of it now. Somebody has been improving my name. That's good. Okay, that's my son, who kind of sort of hates me. Alright, so what do we got? Commander died. Do we have a replacement? Okay, we have my one son. And we still have the 2 siege commanders. Been really blessed with that. Oh, we can actually repay our loan. Let's go ahead and do that. Absolute. We don't want that hanging over our head. Don't have to worry about that. And then, if we actually need to take another loan out, I have that option available to us again. Excellent. So, who needs education? It Is my granddaughter under... I don't really care. You just need a guardian, right? Yes, we want her to become Rowler Faithful. And we need to marry you off to somebody. So we got an attractive kid here. Yes, let's do that. So every time I get a little pop-up saying that somebody needs to be educated, I always try to take care of their marriage proposals right away. I'm not really big on the whole alliances thing, unless of course it's completely strategic. I'm not really in any big threat here of being taken over. The only problem is since we don't have ships, I don't have the ability to actually transport anything. That's our only kind of wrench in the gears at the moment. Your most excellent Conde, peace be with you. I've decided to ruin of the Isle of... Where in the hell is this guy coming from, then? There are actually people there? No way. There's actually... For real? There's actually people here. Huh. It's probably because the vanilla game doesn't have any colonization options, and I think that they probably had to use this as a placeholder. But that's really interesting. I had absolutely no idea there was actually people in these things. I thought they were completely vacant. But apparently they have a total court and everything else. Alright, well. I think I'm going to cut that episode off right now. It's been a good 30-some minutes. So thank you very much for joining me. And I hope to see you guys again in the next episode. I think what we're going to do is we're going to chill for a while. For as long as my guy stays alive, hopefully. To let some of our ships regenerate. And we're going to come over here. We're going to kick some ass. We're going to get some more land. And the second that war is done... Guess what? We're getting that duchy. So, come back for next time, and we'll get some more in there. And I'll see you guys later.